This treadmill has an incline that maxes out at 10% and a speed of 22 kilometers per hour. So I just have to figure out for how long I can stay on this treadmill on the maximum settings before it breaks me. In moments like this, I found myself wondering why I keep doing these kind of challenges. But before I once again attempt a really painful running challenge, I want to talk a bit about why I decided to buy a treadmill in the first place, because I have been really ambivalent when it comes to treadmill running. So in this video I will go through my 4 reasons to why you probably shouldn't buy a treadmill and why I don't like treadmill running. But I will also talk about the 3 reasons that made me decide to buy a treadmill and what I really like with treadmill running as well. So why shouldn't you buy a treadmill? My first reason is simply that it is really boring to run on a treadmill compared to running in the outdoors. For me, running is so much more than just moving my legs in front of each other and get that heart pumping. I love to run outside and experience the nature outside, the sounds, the smells, the fresh air and the feeling of speed you get from running. And none of that you get from running on this treadmill. I mean, compare this to running down an epic mountain trail. I know what I would choose at least, but maybe that's not a super fair comparison because it's not every day you can run on epic places like that. But even hitting the local park or trail and just being outside, I always prefer compared to being inside on a treadmill. The second reason to why you shouldn't buy a treadmill is that they are big, heavy and take up a lot of space. Just getting this thing into our house was a nightmare and setting it up wasn't super easy either. I didn't know it was that heavy. Maybe I should do some strength training. We finally got it in here and we found a nice place in the corner here. And maybe I'm weird, but I actually think it looks pretty good here in our living room. And my wife likes it as well, so we're very happy having it here in our living room. But maybe not everybody thinks that a treadmill is a nice indoor decoration. Another reason to not buy a treadmill is that running on a treadmill gives a very monotonous load, because basically each step will look exactly the same, which may increase your risk of injury compared to running outside where you constantly have to adjust your stride because the surface changes on your run and you run uphill and downhill. But on the other hand, if you only run outside on flat asphalt, that load is pretty monotonous as well. And most treadmills are actually softer to run on than running on asphalt or pavement. But compared to running outside on softer surfaces, I would say that the risk of overuse injury from treadmill running is a bit higher. So that's one thing to consider before you start doing all your sessions on a treadmill. My final reason to why you probably shouldn't buy a treadmill is that they are quite an investment. If you want a treadmill that is going to be sturdy and last you for long, it's for sure not the cheapest thing to buy. And you can have a membership on a training center for a long time before it becomes as expensive as buying your own treadmill. But with that said, I always think that money spent on things that makes you more physically active should be prioritized compared to other expenses. You can look at it as an investment in your own happiness and health. So that's some reasons to avoid getting a treadmill. So why did I decide to buy one despite all of these reasons? First of all, having a treadmill at home really helps to get your training in as time efficient as possible. Even compared to just running from your door, you save time since I don't have to get all my winter clothes on before each run. I just have to put on a pair of shorts and jump on the treadmill and start to run. And compared to going to a training center to run on a treadmill, you of course save a lot of time. Also, if you have kids, it can be great to train from home. Then if you're needed, you can just stop your workout and go and help out. So this last reason is probably the main reason why both me and my wife Elin wanted a treadmill. Because we just had twins and it has been so great being able to be at home and still get to train properly. And also a little bonus positive aspect is that the babies seem to really like the sound of when dad is running on the treadmill. So they tend to sleep pretty well whenever I start to do a workout. The next reason to buy a treadmill or just do more treadmill running is that it's super good to get those quality running sessions in on a treadmill. when you want to do intervals or speed work, because running on a treadmill makes it super easy to control your pace perfectly, which is not always so easy outdoors. And as a coach myself, I really believe in using a treadmill on some of those quality sessions in your training to get optimal progress with your running. Here I'm also really inspired by the Ingebrigtsen family here in Norway, with Jakob Ingebrigtsen taking the gold in the 1500 meter at last year's Olympics. And following their TV show, it's obvious that they do a lot of treadmill running. And their father and coach Gert have been talking very positively about using the treadmill for many of their sessions. Talking about Norway also brings me to the last reason to buy a treadmill or run more on a treadmill. Since I live here in Norway, the winters can be pretty cold with a lot of snow and ice on the trails and roads. And winter running can for sure be super lovely, but not always optimal for your running training. Just check out the conditions I had to struggle with during this morning's run. I mean, running in these conditions here of course work, but doing high intensity speed work and quality sessions out here isn't the easiest when you just slip around in this super wet snow. So the time has come for me to see what this treadmill here is made of, so let's check out for how long I can stay on this thing on the maximum settings of 10% incline and 22 kilometers per hour. For my all-out attempt on the treadmill, I will be wearing my super fast shoes, the Nike Alpha Flies, and hopefully these shoes can help me stay some seconds longer on this treadmill. So I'm doing 15 minutes of easy running and a couple of strides as warm-up, and then I will hopefully be ready for this challenge. So now I'm just feeling a bit on the speed, so this is 22 kilometers per hour, but just 1% incline, and this is going to be pretty brutal on 10% incline. So now I'm raising the incline to 10% and I'm as ready as I will get for this little challenge. And I'm a bit nervous, but I'm really looking forward to it as well. It was quite a long time since I challenged myself physically in this tough way, so okay. I have no idea for how long I will be able to withstand this maximum settings on the treadmill, but I'm hoping for 1 minute at least. That's the goal. So 3, 2, 1. Too slow, really? I did my best. You only want me to run all the time. Yeah, that was really painful, but also a lot of fun as always to challenge yourself physically. And I'm happy with 1 minute and 10 seconds, so now I have a benchmark that I can try to beat whenever I want to do a brutal short little physical test. And I really hope you found this video helpful in some way, and if you want to see more videos, here are 2 other videos you can click on. And as always, thanks for watching, train smart, have fun, and I will see you in the next video.